Everybody. Back on January 9th, there was a very important event in the state of Texas, an event organized by the American Freedom Alliance together with a coalition of other groups, including the Republican Party of Dallas County and Patriot Mobile and War Room. And I think there were some other groups involved as well. And there were some great speakers there. And it was all about raising the alarm about Sharia law and Islam coming in to take over parts of the United States, especially what's happening in Texas. That's why they held it there. And it was the kickoff event to a campaign that culminated in a victory on March 3rd in the Republican primary in Texas, where an initiative was put on the ballot to call for the banning of Sharia law in Texas. And the hope is that this will lead to it being a national issue in the upcoming midterm elections and beyond. And at this event, the final speaker of the event, and really, I think the most powerful speech given at the event, was given by Glenn Beck. I made another video with an excerpt from the speech. And what I want to do in this video is just play you the last 12 minutes or so of this speech by Glenn Beck. It is incredibly powerful. It really doesn't need any introduction. You will not be disappointed by this. But before we get to that, please make sure to go to Israel365charity.com. There's a war going on. There are a lot of families that are struggling with the impacts of the war. And Israel 365 is really connected to a lot of charities on the ground here, helping out a lot of families that have struggles, husbands who are being called up for reserve duty, husbands and fathers, children who are stuck at home because they can't go to school, so mothers who are stuck at home with them, damage done to people's homes, injuries to families, all kinds of issues that people are dealing with. And if you just go to Israel365charity.com and click on the Israel Under Fire campaign, you could really help out. It's a great way to get involved and help people out at a difficult time such as this. All right. Without further ado, let's get to Glenn Beck and this phenomenal last segment of this speech.
We are facing unbelievable times. Every day, I wake to either unbelievable evil and horror or miracles. Every single day. Lord, what are we going to see today? Glenn, today, in the next few days, you're going to either see Islamists rush, or you're going to see the Persian people set free. And it will be up to each of us in our own way. God works miracles, but he does require more than spectators. We are not saved by our works, but I will tell you, I don't think he's going to recognize a lot of us if we're sitting on our hands at this time in our lives. Raoul Wallenberg is one of my heroes. You know, I started to say this and I think of why I was born, and I was born to tell you these things. And it's why my whole childhood makes sense. And my love for people like Raoul Wallenberg makes sense. So I can be prepared to tell you who you should strive to be. Raoul Wallenberg was a guy who didn't have to be involved. He's from Sweden. There's a statue of him that no American knows. I did an interview with an autobiographer, a biographer of Raoul Wallenberg years ago, and she came to America, and there's this beautiful book on him. I mean, he makes Dietrich Bonhoeffer look like a wimp, and that's saying something. During the interview, she broke down in tears with me. And I said, I'm sorry, did I say something? Because I was asking her a question. I'm sorry, did I offend you? She said, no. I've been on a book tour all over the world and all throughout America, and you are the only journalist who knows who he was. He came from a family like R.H. Macy. He was wealthy. His family they owned a huge department store, huge industry. He had no reason to get involved. And the United States came to him and said, something is happening with the Jews. We need you to accept an ambassadorship of your country. We need you to go to another country, and we need you to tell us what's going on with the Jews. And he did. And we didn't listen. And he gathered more evidence, and he went to England, and they didn't listen. So he gathered more evidence, and he went to Switzerland, and they didn't listen. They listened, but they didn't want to believe. He finally went back and said, I don't need anybody to listen. I'm here. And he began making these, the Schutzpass. This basically says, you're now a Jew and you're a citizen of my country. You're no longer, you don't have to worry about it. You're under the protection of my king. Now, remember, his king was under the direction of the Nazis at the time. They had been invaded. His king called him as he was making these and saying, you don't need to wear that yellow star anymore. You don't need to fear. You're under the protection of my king. His king called and said, what are you doing? You're going to get us all killed. He said, you want me to stop? You come here yourself and stop me. I have a typewriter. I have a photographer. I'm taking their pictures. I'm making these Schutzpasses. You want me to stop? Come stop me yourself. He took his wealth and he bought an entire city block next to the embassy of his country. And then he would go to the train station as they were loading the Jews on with Schutzpasses. And he'd stuff them through the cracks of the train. And he'd say, everybody, pass these amongst yourselves. Everyone, take one. And then he would run to the front of the train and he'd say, stop the train. You have the wrong people. These people belong to me. He saved over 100,000 people. He is forgotten in history because America forgot him. He was last seen running into the arms of the Soviets as they came in to Budapest. One of the last people, I have one of the last Schutzpasses from a woman that he helped get out, and she begged him, please, Mr. Wallenberg, come with us. They're coming. The Russians are coming. Please come with us. You've got to go. And he said, there are too many left to save. And the Russians can't be as bad as the Germans. We don't know how his story ended. Thank you. We don't know how his story ended. There's three ways. One, he ran into the arms of the Soviets and he was shot on the spot. Highly unlikely because there was orders from Stalin. Stalin wanted to interrogate him himself. Second version, he died under torture in Moscow with Stalin. And the most horrific, to me at least, is that he died in a prison camp at hard labor in 1972. The first president that demanded an answer, what happened to Raoul Wallenberg, was Ronald Reagan. I want to challenge you to find someone in history that inspires you. Find somebody that you say, I want to be more like that. When the crap hits the fan, I'm going to be like that man. Because if you don't do it now, you will not do it. If you don't prepare now, you will fail. Character isn't made in hard times. Character is revealed in hard times. Build it today. Model yourself after somebody that you think has done amazing things. And the great news is there are millions of examples. Find that individual. Keep a picture on your desk. Put it in your car. Put it in your wallet. Whatever you see every day, put it on your phone. Put that picture or the pictures of the people that you want to be more like in front of you all the time. It's like a counsel. When tough times come, you'll know exactly how to behave because you will look at your counsel and say, I know what they would do. One last challenge. It was in the 1500s when the Ottoman Empire came. And they came to Malta. They just had to go through Malta. I don't even really know where Malta is. They just had to get through Malta. Ships with 40,000 Ottomans ready to plow through Malta and conquer Europe. All they had to do was go through an unfinished fort, the fort of St. Elmo's. They just had to get past 600 soldiers and 130 knights. 40,000. They make, honestly, I know I'm saying this in Texas, so I know this is blasphemy, but it makes the guys at the Alamo, they look like pussies compared to these guys. Okay? 600 soldiers, 130 knights. That's it. Wave after wave after wave coming in. And those knights, as they saw them on the ships coming in, imagine the view. It's just nothing but wall-to-wall Ottomans coming. And they're all looking at each other going, holy crap. They knew they were going to die. They didn't send for reinforcements. They sent some people away and said, go fortify. We'll hold them as long as we can. Expecting to die within a couple of days. Under constant siege for over 30 days, they killed 10,000 Ottomans. Every single one of them died. But you know how they died? They refused to bow to the Ottoman Empire. They refused to bow to Sharia law. When they came in and they finally found all of the knights, they had taken their broadswords and shoved them into the ground and draped themselves over the cross of the broadsword. So they were still standing and still upright. They refused to bow. They had a few things that I want you to take with you. They had a code among them. Faith before life. First, loyalty to God, not my survival. Loyalty to God. 2, honor above outcome. We live in a society where the ends justify the means. Stand firmly against that. Honor above outcome. Courage without illusion. I am not here to tell you this is going to be easy. I am not here to tell you Donald Trump's going to save us. I am not here to tell you some won't fall, that Europe is going to be fine, that Texas will even be fine. I'm telling you it could be the fight of our lives. I am telling you that people generations down the road, unless Jesus comes, if we still have historians 100 years from now, they will write about you. There will be someone like me who will bring an artifact from Texas and say, this is how they did it. This is who we should be like. We live in extraordinary times. Courage without illusion, and brotherhood unto death. No man fought alone. We're in this together. We will fight together. We will pray together. We will love together. And so help me God, we will survive together. Thank you. God bless.
Wow. I hope you found that as powerful as I did. This was it's an unbelievable speech. The whole speech is incredible. It's a long speech. I was given permission by the American Freedom Alliance to upload it to this YouTube channel. So I'm going to be doing that. So if you want to watch the whole speech, it should be on the channel pretty soon. But look, listening to Glenn there at the end, what I was thinking about is, right here in Israel, we fight against jihadists. It's very straightforward. It's very clear. Their doctrine is to genocide us, to kill us. They want to destroy every Jew on the planet. They want to wipe out the state of Israel. So we fight. We fight it. It's self-defense. It's survival, and we fight kinetically. And the question for the West is: are you going to fight? Are you going to fight? Are you willing to stand up and say and speak the truth and defend your civilization? Do your democratic values, as you have always interpreted them, freedom of religion, freedom of speech, tolerance, do those allow you to be so tolerant of everything that you even tolerate your own demise and you even tolerate those who want to destroy you? Is that what your tolerance gets you? At what point are you willing to take up arms to defend your civilization, to defend your way of life? At what point? And that's a question that is facing the West. Europe is failing. Europe is failing that test. They're not answering that question in the right way. And everyone's running around. They don't know what to do about it. How do you push back? Islamophobia. But Glenn laid it out there. That's the question. What are you willing to do? And also saying, look, we're not guaranteed a good end to the story. I mean, I think as people of biblical faith, as people of faith, as a Jew, I believe in God. I believe that the end of the grand story is good, that redemption will come to the world, that knowledge of God, of the God of Israel, will cover the earth like water covers the sea, as the prophets say. But how bloody it is on the way to that glorious end is up to us. And when it comes, and who's a part of it and who's not, and what parts of the world are destroyed along the way. I mean, these are real questions we're facing. This is not hypothetical anymore. This is not theoretical. This is real. And that's what that speech was all about. That's what that event was all about. So please share this video. I think this is one of the more important clips I've seen. I hope that you will share it with others. Let people know about it and watch the full speech. We're going to upload it to the channel very soon. All right. God bless you. Stay safe.